because this is Fantasy Good Sports platform. I don't care where we at. We're gonna do this. So guys, I think Tyreek Hill is a top 5 player of all time. Because he's like a hybrid. He can play running back. He can play wide receiver. He can go back on kick return, punt return, receiver. It doesn't matter. Tell him what you're saying, Matt.
So let me start off and preface this. I respect and I think Tyreek is a phenomenal athlete, weapon. I'm not gonna go to the gadget like I used to back in the day because he has evolved his game in that aspect. However, I personally can't put him as a top 5 receiver or even all time or even currently right now. I can't put him above number 1, Devante Adams, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, guys like that who have I'm not gonna say the total package,
right?
But they got more attributes than for me what Tyreek has. His speed is like none other. It's phenomenal. His hands are iffy. Route running is subpar at best, in my opinion. Therefore, I can't put him above those guys who are elite in those categories that I just named.
So my point is, are you gonna sit there and say Glenn Rice is better than LeBron James because he shoot better threes? He ain't a pure 3-point shooter. If a guy can do everything, LeBron James can play center, he can play point guard, he can play 2 guard, he can play small forward, power forward. Tyreek Hill can play running back, wide receiver, anywhere. So the game has changed. You don't just gotta be one solid position and you the best because you play. No, Tyreek can do anything, and you can't downgrade him because he can do different things and say, well, he's not a wide receiver, he's a weapon. No, he can do it all. I know you two want to talk about just running routes. Listen, Tyreek is even an underrated route runner also. So you're not going to just sit there and say that, well, he can run better routes than Devante, and if you take away Tyreek's speed, he ain't that good. Bro, how you don't take away nothing that he does? If you just bring his full gamut to the table, he's top 5 of all time. I'm talking about Barry Sanders, Lawrence Taylor, Dan Marino, those type of guys impacting the game crazy. Now I want to take quarterbacks out because nobody is over a top end quarterback because the quarterback touches the ball all the time. But if you just want to talk about guys that don't play quarterback impacting the game, Tyreek might be the best of all time. Look at his numbers. He's made All-Pro every single year of his career except for one. And he's putting up crazy numbers. He played running back. He changed the game playing running back. Won a playoff game playing running back. This guy is dynamic. So, to me, Tyreek Hill is the best player. He could retire today and go down as the top 5 player of all time. So, Devante Adams can't hold his jock strap when it comes to doing everything. And I'm going to give you one thing before I let you go. So, if the game is on the line and we got 30 seconds to go, and the Kansas City Chiefs or the Miami Dolphins is getting ready to go on offense, ain't you gonna put Tyreek on that punt return or that kick return, and then he gonna be able to blow the game open that way? Or to say what happened with Brock Purdy, his arm gets hurt. What you gonna do with Devante? You can put Tyreek and tell him to go in the reverse, and he can take it 70, and that 70-yard run might be the difference between the game. Well, always down by 6, and now quarterback hurt. What you gonna do? Flick it to Tyreek. I promise you, you tell Tyreek, come on, man, this is it. This is big time. We need you to go. Everybody's scared. The defense said, I'm scared. They're gonna be scared because they know Tyreek. He gone. You ain't nobody coming to catch him.
Again, it goes back to the speed. Yeah, they scared of his speed. That's it. This is what I'm saying. In 2 or 3 years from now, when Tyreek goes from a 4.3 to a subpar, maybe 4.4, somewhere in there, he's not going to be feared like that no more. Fall time is undefeated. You got guys like Jerry Rice and Devante, what I'm talking about, who's got the superb route running. That's never going to leave. When you're a superb route runner, you can continue to play, and when you got great hands. Tyreek hands is nowhere near Devante Adams. It ain't even close. The dude, go look at his drop percentage. Go look at some games where
I told you about that drop percentage, man. Don't be talking about that
drop
percentage.
I'm just saying, though. But that's my point. So, yes, he does have a lot of attributes. He's a great weapon. That's it. When it comes to a receiver, a total receiver, he don't stack up to the greats. That's just
But see, this is what I say. I don't even push this. Tyreek Hill is a top 5 route runner in the league. I said what I said because his speed comes with that. So guys, as he gets older, just like Jordan and Kobe, they used to dunk on you. But people, you ain't gonna say when they 34, 35, they can't jump no more. No, they still can jump. They're not gonna use it like that. And their game is evolving. So I believe that Tyreek Hill is evolved into a really good route runner. I'm not gonna say elite, not like Devante Adams and D-Hop,
Right.
but he's involved. So when you bring his whole total package to the game, he's still one of the greatest wide receivers because he is really good at route running because he's gotten better. He started off playing running back too. And I'm not trying to use that as pat him on the back because he used to be a running back, but that shows you how special this guy is. You tell me one guy ever in the history of the game that played running back and ended up being a better route runner than Tyreek. Ain't no running back ever played running back and then was a great route runner like Tyreek Hill is. And so it ain't about speed. Speed is just what I brought to the table. Just like some guys bring size and they have to evolve and bring other things to the table because they got size or strength, or like Derrick Henry. Like Derrick Henry, you ain't gonna sit there and say, well, take away his size and see what Derrick Henry is. That don't even make sense. Never like, how you
He
gonna
won't be Derrick Henry, I can promise you that.
Well, Tyreek is evolving. He's evolving. He's a great route runner.
Them hands better evolve is all I got to say.
He got great hands.
Man,
I mean, it ain't better than Devante Adams' hands,
That's
but
my point.
but it don't matter. Hands don't matter.
But when we talking about the best and comparing him, his hands got to be close to
No,
that.
it don't because he's a weapon.
Then he's not that good. He's not as good as these guys. If his hands is nowhere near, or his route run is nowhere near the guys that I'm talking about, what are we even saying? He's just a great weapon. He can play running back at times, and he's got awesome speed.
So was Magic Johnson a better 3-point shooter than Ray Allen?
No,
But who's a better player?
Magic.
Thank you. That's my point. You ain't got to be able to do everything to be the greatest. It's just Magic Johnson's passing ability is so phenomish, it's so great that it makes him be an elite player of all time. Tyreek Hill's speed is so good. And then Magic also evolved other things. He became a good 3-point shooter. He became a pretty good jump shooter, decent.
Right.
Just enough to evolve his whole game to make him the full gamut. So Tyreek hands and his route running is not above everybody else that ever played the game. But when you bring his speed in there and put everything that he's evolved into, it makes him better than Devante. It don't gotta be just because you gotta have hands to be a wide receiver. No, you ain't gotta be to shoot threes to be a point guard. Stephen Curry can shoot all the threes that he want to. He's not Magic Johnson.
So if Tyreek slows up, you still trying to tell me that he's gonna be a top tier wide receiver?
Yes, because he gonna be able to go into the slot and do things like Cooper Kupp them do because his route running gonna be good. It's gonna be solid. He's still gonna be fast. He gonna outlook. Darrell Green was 40 years old running a 4.4. Tyreek into the day Tyreek could be
Darrell
60.
Green was 180
Tyreek Hill will
pounds.
be 60 running a 4.5, 4.6.
Darrell Green was 180 pounds at best. Tyreek is about 210.
No, he ain't no. Come on, man. You
Wait
on.
what is it? He 200?
195 to 205.
Well,
It
that's
just
what I'm
depends.
saying.
205 at the most.
You're
in the
not gonna
offseason.
be able to keep that weight and run that type of speed. There's no way you can do it. There's no track stars don't even do it. Track stars gotta de-weight or they gotta lose weight in order to keep that speed.
Right.
Tyreek is not gonna be able to keep that bulk, and because that's another thing that makes him great.
Right.
For him to be able to do end rounds, slot, slants, and stuff like that is because he is a bigger receiver.
Right.
You take that away because that's what's going to have to happen as years go on. He's not going to be able to keep that weight and that speed. There's no way possible.
Nope.
It's not physically possible for him to do that.
Guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. No, bro. See, listen, he's gonna go into the slot. Say he play. Look, he probably gonna retire after he get this bag. He said that himself.
Right.
But if say he does keep playing, bro, he can go into the slot and be his own different weapon from there from the rest of his career. Then you have Water, that's a young guy that's running the fast routes, and then you got another guy on the other side. And Reek is in the slot, and still, what you think the safety gonna do when he go run straight at you? They still gonna back up. So he gonna be catching balls. So he might lead the league in catches then, just because he gonna be being used all over the field.
He gotta catch it though.
So you ain't even seen the next phase of his game.
Right.
So him running his speed going down, he can go to the slot, and ain't no slot corner still gonna be able to guard him. He's still gonna have really great routes compared to a slot corner guarding him. It's gonna take an elite guy. Listen, guys, look at the guys that went against him. Jalen Ramsey, all the top corners in today's game since Tyreek started, ain't nobody been able to guard him. Nobody. Devante Adams had good games where people have gave him hell. Right? Ain't nobody never gave Tyreek.
Devante is getting double 90% of his
No, he
routes.
wasn't. It took look, Devante Adams wasn't even that good his first 2 to 3 years in the league. Aaron Rodgers used to talk junk. Now listen, I am on Devante's side because Aaron Rodgers is just like, if you ain't good, he puts you to the side. It took Devante Adams that been playing wide receiver his whole life. It took him years to become the player that he is.
Right,
Tyreek
right.
came in and was one of the best players in the NFL already off of kick return, punt return, and running the ball. Then they switched his position to wide receiver. Everybody said he can't do it, and he still made a Pro Bowl season that second year. And then the third year, he been all pro ever since. And, bro, in a pro game, bro, ain't
that's
nobody.
A weapon, though.
But no, bro, he runs the whole full gamut. He runs deep crosser, he runs comebacks, he's run everything. He can even jump ball you.
There's a lot of receivers that can run those same routes, but are they elite at it? That's my point. He's not elite.
Yes, he is.
Bro, he's not even top. He's not better than Mike Evans. He's not better than Keenan Allen.
Give me a number. Give me a number that
It's
shows
about five running
No,
backs.
but I'm saying give me a number that equates your route running. Would you say
Look at the film? We film watchers.
Exactly,
You can look at the
exactly.
film and
so
you
guys,
can tell.
I'm gonna upload some film on Tyreek route running, and you're gonna see him
Compare it, and when you do it, make sure you compare it with these elite route runners that I'm talking about.
Right.
And then we gonna see.
And then I want you to upload Devante Adams' punt return numbers and kick return numbers and his running back.
I never said he was a weapon.
Thank you. It don't got to be no weapon. It's still best player. We're talking about the best player. Ain't nobody gonna talk about Michael Jordan ain't good because he gonna shoot threes like Stephen Curry. Nobody he can't be the greatest because at the two guard you got to be able to shoot threes. I'm talking about even in the old game you needed to shoot threes. Mike said no, I'm not shooting no threes.
Right.
So you got to look at the total gamut. When you bring him and say who's the best player, it don't got to be weapon. I'm not gonna sit there and say Devin Hester's better than Devante because Devante can't do what Devin can't run routes and stuff. So you bringing everything together, routes, catching, everything, anything that you can do on the field. Tyreek is the best player outside of a quarterback that ever played a game.
Nah, he ain't better than Antonio Brown.
All right, well let's see what the chat say, guys. I'm gonna read some of the stuff out in the chat. Let's see what y'all saying. Okay. We got Michael King saying, "What up, fam? Guys, make sure you hit the like button." He says, "What up, fam? Appreciate you being here, Michael King." He said, "Hope and pray all is well." Yes, sir. He said, "I personally out on Adams." Yes, I agree with that. KO says Adams is quarterback proof. Okay, you've said that. You said that. KO says he will be top 10, no question. Dynasty Rehab, what's going on? He said, "I love your energy, always giving it 100. Yes, sir. You know it." KO says, "Hit that like button for this cutting edge content." Yes, sir. Michael King says, "Raiders is dumpster fire and Adams has demo discontent. Is he mentally there?" Yeah, because of talking about this year.
Oh, right.
Which is two different kind of things.
Yeah.
But I don't blame Adams. Just to go with that real quick.
No.
I wouldn't want to play for no Jimmy, and I told you that in the beginning of the year.
Right.
And you was like, "Well, it don't matter. He still be okay." But then you also got to be happy what's around you, especially when you're a veteran, bro. That's like you've been around. You 50, 16. You got to deal with kids. You didn't raise the kids.
So, but at the end of the day, if he decides and he is gonna play, he's still gonna be elite, even if he is content or disgruntled, right?
Right.
Devante, at the end of the day, he knows like, yo, my brand is on the line, and he's gonna continue to be a great receiver.
I can see that. I know he's a professional, like you're saying.
Right.
Stephen Gomes says, "Love Tyreek Hill, but Adams is the best wide receiver in football, hands down. Not even close." I respect what you're saying, but I disagree. He says Adams is washed up in a trash offense. Maybe just talking about the offense.
Right.
Steven says Jefferson is up there with Adams, but that's it. Yeah, Jefferson is up there, but he ain't Tyreek. He's just a great, like, he reminds me of a Devante Adams, right? He gonna have all the targets, gonna run great routes, but then you ain't gonna put Justin Jefferson back on no kick return, punt return, and I don't think that's just like a weapon. I think that's part of like. That's like Magic. Can you go guard Shaq real quick? Because we need you to do that.
But that's in Magic's wheelhouse. He is an all-around player. Justin Jefferson, these guys, they're not all-around players. They receivers.
Okay.
It'd be different if they was multifaceted or hybrids.
Right.
That's the only reason. It makes no sense to put Jefferson back there to run wheel routes and end arounds.
Right.
That's not in his wheelhouse.
But ain't Magic Johnson better than some centers? Like, even though
Magic came and played, but that's because that's what Magic game was from day one. Magic has always been
but
that.
he's overall. But even two guards or people, whatever they do, Magic's still a better player. People will tell you, "Well, I scored more points than Magic." They be like, "I don't care."
But to compare somebody like a Justin Jefferson or somebody like that who's multifaceted, but they are strictly receiver,
right?
That's what they're gonna do. It's hard to compare them and say, well, he can't run in the rounds or what Tyreek does, because that's not his game. That's not the game of what they do.
That's bias. You saying
That's
that ain't
what it
somebody
is.
else's game, but then what Tyreek, you trying to demolish his game because he can do that. Where you can say, well, look, Tyreek can do it all. That's what I'm saying. He
Right.
can do. You could put Tyreek and say, Tyreek, no end arounds, no running back, no kick returns, and he's
Right.
still gonna give you 12, 13, 1,400 yards, and he's still gonna be a top 5 wide receiver. As he been his whole career.
He can't play no running back like that long. You seen what happened to Debo.
Right.
There's no, if you ain't built like that, the only player in the game currently right now who's a receiver that could do that is Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson's got that. He's a freak. That's a whole nother debate.
But see, he love him though. You see him?
Yeah.
He's a freak. You
'Cause
see it? You
that
see
man
it? Hey, you can see the
235.
bias. You can see the bias in it.
No.
Hey, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? You wonder, yeah, she ain't nothing. Then one to be like, man, she cute, man, she cute. You can see how he talk about Tyreek and how he talk about. That's why we do this debate, because he just disrespect. I don't want him to agree to Tyreek the best, because I understand that's cutting edge. But at least give him some respect. Quit talking about, hey, he gadgety and he fast. Look, when we first started this debate, guys, we came in. He was like, man, he gadgety, and I mean, it was a big debate, right? And then about 2 days later, he come in, he said, listen, man, I'm gonna tell you this. He might be a Hall of Famer, but he just a weapon.
Listen, I still hold true to that. And I'll say this even right now. If Tyreek comes in and he continues to evolve his route running and, his hands, then ain't nothing I can say.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Right,
But when you, in comparison with some of the great receivers that I consider great, like I said, even in today's game, like Devante.
Right.
That man's hands is unquestioned.
Right.
He does it with double teams constantly.
Right.
They know the ball is going to Devante. He's still coming down.
So is Tyreek. Safeties are always over top of him.
Because of his speed.
You're right. And I don't think that's nothing bad about that.
No, it's not a negative, but if we in comparison, Devante Adams run maybe a 4.5.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
But the man still, he always open.
Right.
Because his route running, and you can throw it to him, and he going to come down with the rock. To me, those things are more valuable when you're talking about a receiver versus Tyreek, which he is multifaceted. I would just much rather have a prototypical, quote-unquote, alpha receiver.
I totally disagree with that, but I respect what you're saying. Michael King says, Raiders is a dumpster fire. Adams in his demo, discontent. His mentality there. Steven Golden says, love Tyreek, but Adams is the best wide receiver in football. Michael King says Adams is washed up in trash. Steven says Jefferson is up there with Adams, but that's it. Steven says, if we were talking about wide receiver and I'm a quarterback, give me Adams. Majority of quarterbacks in the NFL, if they had a choice, would take Devante Adams over Tyreek. Okay. Like I said, I respectfully disagree, but it is what it is. Michael King says, my bad, I thought this was about fantasy football this season. And Ian Taylor says, and it is, it's about that, but it's also going forward too far as like their careers, right?
Right.
Ian Taylor says, TD school is open. Yes, sir. He says, if Raiders going to be behind a lot of Adams will get nice. Okay, if Raiders going to be behind a lot, Adams will get nice numbers. Right.
He going to get them regardless.
Yeah, he is. I mean, but is it going to be worth the value where he's going? He's going in the second round.
Yeah.
KO says Adams is not washed. I don't think he's washed. I don't think so. He's never going to be washed because of his route running, unless he get hurt, he get injured.
Right.
KO says, how is Adams washed coming off the season he just had? And Nifty says Hill is better all around player. That's all I'm saying. But when you listen, and like a lawyer, this is what he does. Well, I said wide receiver, not all around. No, man, stop that. Stop that. Nobody does that. If he did that all the time, we're like, no. What you do, kind of do that, but that's too much wordplay. That's too much strictly on the wide receiver. No, man, we talking about winning games. That's all we talking about. What player do you want to win a game?
Right. Well,
I think it's Tyreek Hill. Kale says Tyreek proved he don't need Patrick. Listen, so we had that debate. Great comment. So last year I said, Matt, did you hear about Hill want to leave Kansas City? He said, yeah, man, I heard about that. I said, I heard he might go to Miami. He said, yeah. I said, listen, if he goes to Miami and Tua becomes all-pro and almost wins MVP and Tyreek ends up going for breaking a record in yards, what would you say? Oh, I had to give it to him then, bro. Yeah, I always said he's a Hall of Famer. But if he does that, I said, couldn't anybody else to make Tua that? He was like, Tua's still good, but no, they can't make him no all-pro type. Tua, before he got hurt, was on all-pro. He was going to be the best quarterback in the league, throwing for 400 or 500 yards a game.
Right.
As soon as the season was over, I was like, yeah, you see with Tyreek, he one of the best ever to do it. He's solid. I mean, Tua good. Tua good. You know what I'm saying? Now Tua good. But before Tyreek, I mean, if he do that, bro, that's special. And y'all know, go check out my catalog. I'm the only person, and I mean this, I'm not just saying this, I'm the only person on YouTube that said that Tyreek was going to be better with Tua.
Right.
I'm not.
No, you did. You said that. And listen, that's no slight to him, and it's actually an attribute to Tyreek Hill. But Devante Adams, hell, he had 1,500 yards with Derek Carr.
He did.
He was the only person in that offense. No Hunter Winfro, no Darren Waller. That was it.
He had Josh Jacobs, though.
Okay, well, yeah, Josh Jacobs. But, hell, Tyreek got Waddle.
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Tyreek,
but again,
they had Tua, though. But they had Tua. Tua was on his way. Let me ask you this, though.
Okay.
Was not Tua on his way out the league?
Yeah, but okay, that's true. But let me ask you, because you know this. Did I ever say Tua was garbage?
No, you never said he was garbage.
That's
but me and you are cutting edge. Ain't nobody saying in the whole YouTube say what we say. That's why my channel is what it is, you know?
Right.
So I give you that. He says, KO says, Tyreek proved he didn't need Patrick, okay? DeAndre Swift season, what's up, bro? He said, what's good? Tyreek, my play over Devante. Getting Cup at 1-8 is crazy, by the way. Yes, he said, Tyreek, my play over Devante, yeah. Morgan, he said, this is popcorn. Get your popcorn ready.
Man.
Yes, sir, bro.
We do this all the time,
Lindell Morgan. Guys, that's one of the members. Give him some love. Mike Murray says, what do you think of Christian Watson?
Lord.
Same thing. Now listen, now he ain't Tyreek, right? He ain't the greatest to ever play the game or nothing like that. But I like speed wide receivers because I believe that it helps everybody out in the offense. It makes it where other guys that are not that talented can have open lanes and get off. So I love Christian Watson, but we're gonna have another debate.
Yep,
and
it's coming.
It's gonna be Christian Watson versus George Pickens. And I think Christian Watson is better than George Pickens, not at catching the ball, but at boom plays, making big plays, winning the game. That's what I say. Great comment, Mike Murray. And Lunch Table Legend says, what's good? Your running back rankings are bold, and I love them. You literally the only person who has the same top 3 running backs as me. Respect. Appreciate that, bruh. Appreciate that. And Lunch Table says, who are your favorite late round running backs? I'm going to give you mine. Rashad Penny, James Cook, Antonio Gibson. Who else? That boy, they already own it, ain't he?
Yeah, he own it, man.
Go ahead, Matt.
I love James Conner. I agree with you on the James Cook. Antonio Gibson, of course, and Devon A-Chain. Watch out for A-Chain. He's a beast. Speaking to this, what we're saying about Tyreek and everything,
right?
You got 4.3 speed between him, Waddle, and Hill.
Right.
It's gonna be over.
Right. I like 2 of your guys there. I like Penny. I was high on Penny last year, and I still think Penny is a good guy. But it's all about injuries. If he can get through injuries, he's gonna be a really good running back. But I'm targeting guys that I'm really targeting. I take Penny if he fall, but I'm targeting James Cook as my 0 RB guy. I'm targeting Antonio Gibson, and I'm also targeting AJ Dillon. And is there another running back, Mac, that I talked about that I'm targeting? Late round guy.
I'm trying to think. That's pretty much the ones I know. One point you was talking about Samaje.
Yeah, and Samaje Perine.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yep.
Yep, those are. So I love James Cook, Antonio Gibson, AJ Dillon, Samaje Perine. Those are the guys I'm trying to get in every single draft, guys. And I'm trying to get Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson. Maybe not so much as Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Brandon Ayuk, Christian Watson. Those are my guys. I think Mac are real high on like getting George Pickens around that. Outside of the first round.
Yeah.
I think you like the same first round guys that I like, right?
Yeah. All those guys are excellent. But yeah, when you go lower, say around about the 4th, 5th round, somewhere in there.
Right.
I'm gonna reach for George Pickens because I think the target share is gonna shift. Deontay's gonna get targets, but George Pickens is gonna be the number 1. So if he gets 150 targets, it's over.
Right.
It's a wrap. So I love George Pickens. I love Mike Williams around that same ADP. Kellen Moore is going to be a huge asset to this team.
Right.
They're putting Mike Williams in the slot more. So he's still gonna have those 50-50. He's gonna run those 9 in those posts, but he's gonna play more in the slot, kind of like what CeeDee Lamb did.
Right.
So you got that big target in the middle of the field.
Right.
It's gonna cause mismatches. So I
Right.
love Mike Williams around that same 80.
Right. I like him for a boom bust guy. Lunch Table says, and what do you think about Calvin Ridley this year? I think 1,000 plus 10 receiving touchdowns. So I look, Calvin Ridley is going to be fine. He's going to be good. He's going to have 1,000 yards, around 6-7 touchdowns. But listen, I think if you watch Doug Peterson offense to the last 3 to 4 years since he's been an offensive coordinator, he don't have a number one guy like that. So I'm not taking Calvin Ridley to be a top 5 or top 10. I take him as a top 12 wide receiver. So I don't want people to overdraft him. I think it's going to be a lot of good wide receivers on this team. I think it's going to be kind of like Kansas City was. One week you're going to have Calvin Ridley. The next week you're going to have Zay Jones. Next week you're going to have Evan Ingram. The next week you're going to have Travis Etienne. Then Tank Bigsby. And then it's going to circle all around. But the best guy on that offense is going to be Calvin Ridley. So if you want to take the best guy on this offense, the most consistent guy is going to be Calvin Ridley. He's going to have 1,000 yards if he stays healthy. And that's if he stays healthy, because it's hard to stay healthy when you miss fantasy, when you miss football, and your body got to get that callus to it.
Right.
So Matt really likes Calvin. Anything you want to say about Calvin Ridley?
No, I agree with everything you're saying on that. Calvin Ridley, and he's another one of my guys is top tier route runners. He's one of the best route runners in the game.
Right.
And I think that's what's going to help him get acclimated back into playing and being fantasy viable, even though he's been out for a couple of years. But that route running is still superb. It's almost like riding a bike. You'll never forget that. If you're leading that, you're always going to be leading
I agree with that.
So
I agree with that
alone is going to cause separation to where he can get open.
Right.
And then once his body catches up, his endurance and all of that,
right,
then I think he'll be a league winner.
I can see that. Jake, what's going on, Jake? What's going on, bro? He says Dynasty League with contracts. HPPR, Tyreek for Drake London. Tyreek has 2 years left. Okay, so he's one of those real manager leagues.
Got you.
And he says Tyreek has 2 years left. Drake has 4 years left on his, and also $20 less. So give me more draft capital. Let me know what you think. To me, it's all about if you're trying to win now.
Right.
If you're trying to win now, I'm going to stay with Tyreek and squeeze everything. Right. If you're trying to build a young super team, then go ahead and get rid of trade Tyreek right now and go get you Drake London and something else.
Yes.
I mean, you got Drake London, but go get you 2 other super stud players, like young guys, like a Christian Watson or, you couldn't get Jamar Chase, but you could get Amon-Ra. You get Amon-Ra and another piece.
Piece. And actually, maybe even a third one.
Right.
Scott Moore's another one I like.
Right.
That right now he's catching a little steam, but a lot of people don't know about it. You can probably get him.
Right. Yep. Is a third piece in on that. Right. But to me, if you want to win this year and next year, keep Tyreek. Yeah. Lindell Morgan, what's up, bro? That boy knows his fantasy right there. He says, in your opinion, does DK remind you of any of the previous great wide receivers? Does he remind me of any of your who, man?
Well, so now please, I'm gonna preface this before I say it. But to me, he's got a smidgen of Calvin in him.
He do.
He got a smidgen of Calvin.
He do.
Just because of his 50-50, he's tougher. You know what I'm saying? His speed is elusive. But his hands, Calvin Johnson, going back to the superpowers we're talking about receivers, Calvin Johnson's hands is almost top notch. Right. Especially contested. Right. But long story short, he reminds me of Calvin Johnson just a little bit.
Let me see. He don't really remind me of anybody because I would say Calvin Johnson. But I think he's like DK breaks a lot of tackles, more tackles than probably any wide receiver ever did in the history of the game. Right. But he's also a jump ball guy too. So he's just a big play. He his own guy. DK gonna be like, oh, he's a DK light. That's what DK is. He is his own type of brand and template.
I agree.
Let me see, guys. I got to get out of here before this phone go dead. Jake says, I checked a couple dynasty rankings and calculators, and it's all really close on leaning London. Yes, it's all about if you want to win now. Sleeper alert, Tank Dale, yes. Great chemistry with Stroud and free and draft this year. Don't tell that boy that because we in a dynasty league together, and he going to try to go get him. William Davis says, anything wrong with going with Diggs first at the 110 spot? Yes, I'd rather go with Amon-Ra.
I agree. I disagree with that a little bit, but it's close. I think Amon-Ra's a superb talent. I still would go with the proven commodity of Diggs right now.
Right.
Me personally.
And Jake says, I snap pick Diggs at 110 in my opinion. I respect that, but I'd rather go I just rather go with Amon-Ra. I think Amon-Ra has the chance to be number one. I don't know if Diggs does. He could. Lindell says, who is a better route runner, Keenan Allen or Devante Smith? I had to give it to Keenan right now.
Yeah.
I love Devante Smith, but I'm gonna have to give it to Keenan Allen right now.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen from the hometown too. He from Greensboro.
336, baby.
Yes, sir. Jake says Allen in my opinion. I agree. And Nifty, what's going on, Nifty, bruh? Appreciate you subbing. He says Keenan Allen better route runner. I agree. All right, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in to Fantasy Good Sports. Mac, you want to shoot out your Twitter?
Yeah, check me out on Twitter, Matt Galloway 34. Check me out.
Also,
baby.
guys, he's a part of the Fantasy Headliner crew. So check them out, guys. Really great content there, guys. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content, and these type of videos and debates will be coming to you more. Yes, sir, Vibs. I see you, bruh. Peace.